So I know that AI and the big tech companies are listening to everything that we say and or recording everything that we say. That their technology is basically one can say is spyware, and it's very, very AI driven, of course. But after my last audio publish on Instagram, there are now videos. Well, actually, let me take that back. There are two videos that popped up where you can ask Chat GPT, if I'm saying it correctly. I don't use all the technology. I only use what the Most High puts in my spirit to use. But so it looks like they were talking about Rome and the actual, what do you call it? The Vatican. The Vatican, of course, we know that the Vatican has catacombs and there's a whole layer underneath or layers underneath. And historically, we know that that was the sacred seat of the first Black mother, the first Pope, which was a female Black Pope, that they tore down. And as I understand, she was allowed to be executed, if I'm not mistaken, that the Most High had, I guess, withdrawn the spirit of safety from her. And so, for whatever reason, and we'll find that out as well. We'll find out the true story as well as to how things ended up to be what they are today. But I digress. I'm going to go back to that there, of course, was technology that's far beyond the technology that we have now. And of course, we know, or there is evidence, I should say, that here in the Americas, especially here in the what it's called the United States of America, there is great technology that these people are just not able to access. So the videos were basically confirming that they've been trying to figure out all this time how to work it. And what it leads me to believe and or understand is that Satan was not around when the earth was made. Clearly, the demons or the fallen angels were not here either for all or in part of the complete human and man history. Before the creation, I would say, of Adam and Eve, that clearly they weren't here for all of that. And so there are things that Satan and the demons simply just don't know. And quite frankly, there are possibly things that only, as I said in my last recording, that only the female can access. And lo and behold, there are a couple of videos out there on Instagram that are stating this, that Chat GPT is basically giving up the goods about what is underneath the Vatican, in that there's technology that they've been trying to figure out, but they cannot because of the way it interfaces. And what they've discovered, that it interfaces with the mind and it interfaces with the heart or with the blood of the person. So your spirit, who you are is going to be key into the power that the Most High gave the male and the female back in the day, like ancient history. And so we won't even have to argue if it is what I truly believe has been revealed to me. There won't even be an argument. You won't be able to say, well, no, that's not, that's just what you think it is. It's going to be self-evidence because, and I praise the Most High for giving this to me. There was something that the Most High was telling me underneath, that technology is going to be the dividing line. That technology is going to be the thing that's going to denote who has what and who has access to what, and which place each person plays. And it's going to be very, very precise. There are certain levels that you'll be able to access and others you simply won't be able to access, no matter how much you argue, beg, and steal or attempt to, which I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think that there's going to be more collaboration than any arguments that could be had. So anyway, the one video in particular that they were describing, that yes, the interface, it has to do with the mind and the heart. And Chat GPT actually stated that. Now I know it's AI, but you have to understand that the Most High is also in the AI too, and manipulating that, or the angels, and that anything that these people have come up with is probably from us in ancient days anyway. And so the angels will have no problem in taking it over and letting out those truths if you ask the right particular question. So I just found that that was interesting, that that's now coming across my feed, that is something that we already had that in books, where they were saying that of course the Vatican has the whole Vatican City has a lot of things that they just is hidden, and but those things will be coming to light. And even now, with the ancient world, prior to the European coming over here, the ancient world that they had, as I stated before in my last video, was I believe that many of those ones shut down that technology before they could take it over. Remember, we have to concede that there was a great betrayal between each other as a people, between those Israelites of old that betrayed the sacred seat, or the sacerdotal seat that was uh, given to us by the Most High, and in a zeal to take power beyond what they were given. Now, understand, these men were not starving, and they were not without power. They had the know-how, they had the ingenuity. They were given a wide berth to go all over the planet. So it's not like these people were suffering, and this is going to, I believe this is probably going to be the story, the true story that they will have to tell, and nothing but the truth of it, is that they were attempting to, I guess in their own arrogance, as along with Satan. I'm sure Satan kind of motivated a little bit that, as he motivated Eve and not Adam, but he probably motivated some of them to go ahead and say, well, you can do it. If she can do it, you can do it. And knowing that darn well that that wasn't the case at all. And so, but through them, first and foremost, I believe that's how the Satan had gained control, or was allowed to gain control of the world, but not all of it, not all of the earth, is what I'm saying. And so, yeah, so it was just nice to have that illuminated in a couple of videos. I'm sure I'm probably going to see more. And then, yes, it is, depends on what you ask. I mean, if the information is available, it's going to be given. And if it's not, then it's not going to be given. But I just found that sometimes the things that's even revealed to me are not so outlandish in the sight of the things that are hidden, that anything is possible. And it would make such clarity and sense that the flow of power would go from the mother to the children, which would be the male and the female, and then out to the world. Because you don't get to, listen, no one gets to enter life, no one, but through the woman. No one comes to life but through her. No other person. Even though if they're even cloning people, they're cloning it from from what she's already given birth to. Do you understand? It's not something that they're just pulling out of thin air. Even if that's the thing. And that is also too, there's something strange about that, because you get into the over 100 years ago, where they were doing the quote unquote Cabbage Patch Kids. And so there is possibly where you can, and again, we don't know the full story of Adam and Eve. They may have been clones of the original specimen. And so there's so much to unpack it, but we can begin to connect these dots, knowing that conspiracy right now in 2026 is actually coming to be true. That has been true all along. So we should not just throw it away because it doesn't resonate with us now. We have to be open to the possibilities, because again, these people shut down a lot of things. They locked us out of what little bit we did know. There was a reason why they separated us, and a reason why they pulled from our mothers their own children from them and sent them far away to another part of this landmass. And we have to begin to really honestly answer why. Why did that happen? Why didn't they, what did they not want them to remember? You know? And I believe too that, again, I maintain that many of the structures that are found in the United States of America was probably destroyed by us to keep these people from getting hold of it. And it was the thing that kept us alive through our sojourn through slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, through chattel slavery, all the way through Jim Crow, everything that they could throw at us. It would not defeat us. But imagine had they kept the real structures that was once this landmass. Imagine what these people would have done. Imagine what the demons and Satan would have done. We probably would have been long gone. And so, in order to spare us our lives, our very existence, and to ensure that the earthly phase of the kingdom, that those that will be anointed to serve on earth would be able to be born, no matter what. And even with them breaking us up the way that they did, we still were allowed to, and listen to this, we still were allowed to come through certain bloodlines so that we could be born for this very day. And so, in each one that makes up the earthly phase of the kingdom has been born. I really do believe that. I don't think that. I think everyone's been born, which is why things are falling apart for them so hard and so quickly. And it's getting worse day by day. Seems like there's just a barrage of news even now today that's coming out. I just have to kind of go away from it. I went to the park. I just had to get out. You know, you just have to take a break for a moment and hear something positive. And I think that, again, what has been revealed, if we're open to it, the Most High will challenge us with something that we've never thought of or considered before. And just to see that if we will be willing to humble ourselves and go with it. And then if we just go ahead and go with it and speak it into existence, it seems as though the Most High is then revealing that, yes, this is what is taking place. That we may not be off the mark as much as one may suppose that we are. All right, so that is it. That is what I want to say, and keep your mind open and your heart open, but also make sure you have the appropriate guard up, that the Most High, or trust in that guard. Wherever something doesn't need to come in, it won't, and that which needs to come in will come in. And I hope you have a happy Sunday. Stay strong.